Hey everybody, welcome back. Raf King hanging out again with you from Living Kinetics. Today we're doing another interview with a very special friend of ours. We recently got to do your ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yes.
So congrats on that.
Thank you.
But please take a moment, introduce yourself and what you do and what WingSpace is all about.
Sure. I'm Melanie Banayat. I am the founder and owner of WingSpace Coworking, which is a co-working space for independent workers. So for all those people who struggle to work from home or struggle to work in a cafe, those are just, if there's are not good fits for you, this is the place where you can come and find work refuge, so to speak.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So when home is just too busy, right?
A lot of distractions, a lot of temptations, and anything, even pets, children, spouses, the delivery man, dishes, laundry, anything that pulls you away. Yeah.
Yeah, not here, right?
Not here. That's not here. That is not here. Yeah.
It is amazing how many chores and tasks you can think of when you have a really important project to do. Right, and then you want to do all that other stuff. I don't know why that happens, but
well, and I mean, for me, because I worked from home for many years, and I got pretty disciplined about things. But anytime that there's a project I'm working on where I'm like, I could use a distraction, right? It's easy to get distracted and get pulled into the rabbit hole of other things and not be as productive as I needed to be. And then for me, it wasn't just the distractions, but it was also isolation.
Yeah.
Just feeling like I needed to be more connected with people. I mean, my first business when I moved here to Prescott was in the fine art industry. So I spent a lot of time alone in my art studio, which was fine because that's very therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
But then I moved into the health and wellness field as a holistic health coach, and I worked with one-on-one clients. So I would see my clients and then they would go, and it was just me alone so much of the time, and needing help with marketing and that kind of stuff, understanding like how do I reach more people, how do I grow my network, how do I do this. It was just I was tired of working alone, and that kind of cycle of circumstance needed to be around more people. That's
cool that you found that out about yourself, and other people have that problem as well.
Oh yeah, because one of my first attempts to solve that problem was to then join a networking group. Yeah. Right? So I joined a networking group, and we would meet like every 2 weeks. And it was okay as far as, making connections with people and getting to know more people in the area. But for some reason it was still missing something for me.
Yeah.
So then I left that networking group and I started my own networking group.
Nice.
Called Girls Got Prescott on meetup.com. And what I discovered was there were a lot of other women who didn't necessarily want to be in a typical networking group where you just kind of do your 30-second commercials and everyone goes around and passes out business cards and stuff. They really wanted social connection. Yeah. They wanted friendship. They wanted more. And I wanted more of that too.
Not just the speed dating aspect.
Yeah, because as adults, we tend, especially when we start families and that kind of stuff, and we get into the whole adult world, it's amazing how many years can pass before you realize, gosh, I don't have as many friends as I used to, or as many friends as I would like to have, maybe. My lifestyle and work is just keeping me from having a social life or a personal life.
And it's like the first thing to go, right? Like as soon as work starts getting stressful, personal life is the first thing.
Yep, it's the first thing that goes. Exactly.
So you can kind of cure that by...
Yes. So what I loved about the co-working industry when I started researching it to see if this would be even that next step, that next level that I wanted to take things, for independent workers was there's a huge focus on building community. And the way I kind of looked at it was like it's the Cheers of the work industry, so to speak.
I love that.
Yeah, where you walk in and people actually know your name, and they know things about you that a lot of times you don't ever get the time to share at a networking group or something. And it's just nice. It's nice we may not necessarily, spend a whole lot of time talking while we're at work, but just knowing, like, I can look across the room and I know these people. It feels like a family, like a community.
That's awesome.
And I liked that concept. I liked learning from some of the other co-working space owners around the world and realizing why this has grown. This industry has just grown in leaps and bounds these last 8 years. And
it does seem like a relatively new concept.
Yes. So, in terms of, work, this is I guess you could say it's a new concept and an old concept at the same time.
All right.
Because, we got used to for many years working in corporate environments, where you're around a lot of people, and having those water cooler talks and that kind of stuff. So that kind of camaraderie that happens in a workplace is good. But now with this new way that people are working, with the gig economy, people are like, I especially like a place like in Prescott, where there are not a whole lot of jobs available that you can actually make a living off, more than minimum wage. So you got to create your own jobs.
Absolutely.
Or you get a second job or a side gig, as they call it. And so now people are diversifying their work so that if one job gets lost, you still have one or two other as a backup.
Some kind of income stream. Yeah.
This is what people are doing now to survive. And so it's created this situation where a lot of people are working from home and working from cafes. And then at the same time, the cafe sounds, I remember thinking it sounded so romantic.
It sounds so hip.
Yeah, just so cool to go, until I thought, I can't really afford an office, so I'll meet with my clients at the cafe.
Yeah.
Well, all it took was one time at the cafe, and I was like, oh, that is not going to work. So then I met with them in a Then I met with them in a hotel lobby, thinking I kind of scattered it out for. It's like, this is pretty quiet at this time of day, so I'm going to meet with clients here in this really pretty lobby. And when my client started crying during the session because she was talking about something very emotional, I'm like, oh, well, I can't do that either. I can't have my client crying in public.
Yeah.
This isn't good. So that day was the day that I ended up moving my office home, which then, sent me into that whole isolation thing. And so there had to be a better solution. And co-working spaces bring back that connection that, people in years past were used to, just having adult conversation. And the other beautiful thing about it is there's so much technology that we're dependent upon these days. And a lot of people are kind of being forced into using technology when maybe they don't necessarily want to, and they're not savvy, they don't pick it up easily. Well, being around a lot of other people who do understand that makes it a whole lot easier for you to just say, hey, can you help me out here for a minute? Can I get 5 minutes? And someone says, oh yeah, that's easy for me. And before you know it, your problem is solved and you're back to work again. Whereas I can remember spending hours just trying to figure out, I don't know how to fix this problem. And then my day's shot. It's like, forget it.
Confidence level down the drain.
Yep. I got to start making phone calls and trying to find someone who knows somebody who can help me out. And sometimes it's just like, we just help each other out.
Yeah. While still being independent workers.
While still being independent workers.
That's so cool. It's like all the benefits.
It is all the benefits. It is wonderful. And I think that's why the energy here has been so like refreshing, just positive, and people like, I love coming here. I love coming to work here. I love having a professional place where I could meet with clients in private. I could teach a class, in the big conference room, and now I'm going to be opening the open co-working space as an event space for our members to use, and or non-members can also rent it too. But for private events, I mean, it's just kind of cool how diverse the space is.
Yeah.
And how they can use it.
So rad.
It is.
That really is incredible. So any kind of independent worker still has a support system, but doesn't have to have the crippling investment of an office and a presentation room and this room and that room.
Yes.
That is wonderful.
It is wonderful. I've had a number of people.
Yeah, who do you see in here? What kind of businesses do you have coming here?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I should have had that list right in front of me. So we have a programmer, a computer programmer, web designer, photographer. So we're going to have the creative and technology type members.
Yeah.
We have health coaches, authors, CPA, financial advisor, a commercial real estate broker. So you see, it's just a real mix. There's a hypnotherapist. So I said health coaches, life coaches.
A cornucopia of all these businesses.
It somehow magically just all fits well together.
No one's stepping on anyone's toes here?
No one's stepping on anybody's toes.
Wonderful.
And, people also come in and they're concerned about the other beautiful thing about the co-working industry is that competition is like not, it's like, that's over here. That doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
If you have two different life coaches or two different health coaches, what people typically discover is that they teach very differently. They work with different kinds of clients, and they can actually collaborate on some things. It's like, I can't really work with this client. You're better at this kind of stuff. I'm going to send them over to you. And it's more of a collaborative environment than competition.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've had to really, overcome myself when I moved here to the Prescott area, realizing that that's still very, much a belief is when someone says, well, who's your competition? You need to know who your competition is. And I say, well, how about if I turn that around and say, who are the people I can collaborate with?
Yes. How can we both benefit from each other?
Exactly. Yeah. And ever since I changed that mindset myself, it's opened so many more doors.
Nice.
And I'm seeing it happen with members too. So, it's a nice way to approach life versus,
It seems, when I was down in the Phoenix area, because, we're new to Prescott as well, there was a lot of that competition type of mentality where everyone was kind of trying to get at each other's throats. Yeah. And it takes so much energy to do that, and you don't get very far.
It does. Yeah, you don't. So it's nice. It's nice to be part of an industry that kind of challenges a lot of these old mindsets and outdated ways of doing things. I see the relief and like people's shoulders kind of relax when they realize that this is how we approach things in this environment here. If you want to be part of that, come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in and join us, and let's see how we can help you and who you might be able to collaborate with.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
I love it.
What are the big plans? Are there any future plans for WingSpace here, or
yes,
big projects?
Yeah, so there are. One of the things that I'm working on probably hoping to get it going this fall, is women's. It's not really a women's organization. It's a women-focused membership, is what I'm going to call it, because women have very different needs than men when it comes to work, and especially when they're starting their own business. A lot of the women have to build up their confidence on a personal level so that can cross over into their professional life as well.
Absolutely.
And so I really want to develop this kind of women's programming to help address a lot of those challenges that women have.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be a very a topic that's sought after a lot, so I'm glad you're spearheading that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I searched for it here in this town, and it doesn't really exist, not in the way that I personally would like it. The way I see it is I want to offer these women things that I wish that I had as I was getting going in each of my businesses.
For sure.
So.
Well, that's really cool of you.
Yeah.
You seem like you stay busy.
Oh gosh. Well, and I try really hard to also maintain that balance too, so that I can leave work. You know, I'm open. My doors are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. But my members, you know, they get access 24 hours, you know, Monday through Friday, so they can come in after I've gone home to work, so that I can still maintain balance in my life too.
What do you do for fun? What's the other side?
What's the other side of Melanie?
Yeah.
So I love mountain bike riding and hiking. Yep. And I am also a professional artist, so I would like to get back into doing some art, but more on a personal level.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, doing it for a living. And
I'm sure that's stressful.
To try and do it for a living?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's stress. It's like, I hope someone will buy my artwork.
Yeah.
I love cooking. I love hanging out with my adult kids and cooking in the kitchen with them and dancing with them.
Awesome.
Dancing's huge. My husband and I love dancing, and so, you know, we're out at Matt's Saloon a lot, as my husband says, polishing the dance floor.
Nice.
With our boots.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I'm glad you can still find that balance, because I'm sure starting up any business takes a lot of effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see it on your
like,
face. You're like, oh God, don't make me think about it.
It's been a journey. This co-working space is the biggest project that I've worked on since I owned a fishing resort up in the Cascade Mountains.
Fishing resort.
I did. I owned a fishing resort for 11 years up in Central Oregon. And
I'm sure you have an incredible story. I'm glad we're getting into it right now.
Yeah. But this project for WingSpace has been a 1.5 year long project. And I knew when I made the decision that this is what I wanted to do, I knew I was going to need a lot of support to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I reached out to a lot of people and said, you know, what do you think about this? And if they were excited about it, it's like, you want to join the team? You want to join me in this process, making this happen? And, you know, one by one, just people started joining. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what it's about. This is co-working in the works right now. It was fun.
So cool.
Yeah.
So how big is the team?
How big is my team now? Well, the team that worked on this together, we worked on it for good. My first person that joined me was Deborah Mainville Knight, and she was with me for a year. Yeah, DMK.
Yeah, DMK.
Yes.
She's great.
Yeah, she was with me for a whole year, and others joined, you know, after that in the months following. So a lot of them were together. So there was DMK, and then Jody Kruger, who owns Pen and Key, and she's also a realtor here.
Nice.
And then Josh Bowen, who's my tech guy that helps me out here.
His name sounds really familiar.
Yeah, and he and my daughter are starting a new business, a startup called Pack app.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. And then Jen Best joined me. Rose Vasquez was with us for a few months. Oh gosh, who else joined? I don't want to forget anybody. Christine Teague, and then Teresa and Jay Lodi. I mean, so all of these are independent workers that were just like, yeah, my daughter Michaela, my son Dakota, everybody had used their skills, whatever skills they could add to the development of this. They were amazing.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm glad it all came together, and I'm excited to see what else comes out of it.
Yeah,
That's
me
awesome.
too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what people want. That's another cool thing about this space is this is going to develop based on what the members want. What do they want this space to be?
Yeah. And where do they want to take it? And
Yes.
that's wonderful. Well, thank you for your service, and thank you for everything
Thank
that you do.
Raf. This was great.
Oh yeah, and if there's any way we can help you out in the future, coming out here and just the one party we did was awesome. But if we could be present for any other presentations or get-togethers, we'd be okay with that too.
I would love that. I would love that. The more the merrier. Anybody who wants to climb on board and be part of this community, let's talk. Come in, let's talk. I have a free day for anybody who wants to come in and just try it out for a day too.
When's that free day? And how can they get a hold of you?
So see right here, I call this the test flight. Come in for a free test flight.
Nice.
And you can come in pretty much any time for that free day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, do you have a Facebook they can contact you through, a website, phone number?
Yeah, wingspace.biz.
Okay.
That's BIZ.
Awesome.
And you can also find us on Facebook at WingSpace Coworking. Facebook/WingSpace Coworking.
You've got the cool butterfly logo,
It's
right?
the butterfly logo.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it.
It's funny because it's not really a butterfly. It's
Watch out now.
two feathers that are put together that end up looking like
see
a
it now.
butterfly.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. You can, and you can just always come in. Just come on in Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m., and I'll take you on a tour of the space.
Awesome.
Spend time with you, answer questions. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, please check her out. Check out the space sometime. And you won't be disappointed. The facility's great in there. In fact, I'll probably bring the camera through there a little bit just so they
That
can
sounds
all
great. Yeah, let's
get a
do
little
it.
visual of it. Yeah. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I had fun talking, and I'm sure we're going to have more talks in the future.
Sounds good.
Cool. Well, take care, everyone.
Bye.
That was so much fun. And you survived.
I
Look at
did.
that.
I
You survived it. Awesome.
What do you know?